Today we're going to talk about transformations. Transformation is moving a geometric figure. The four types of transformations are translations, rotations, reflections, and dilations. Today we're going to talk about translations. Translation is sliding a figure into a new position without being changed. So looking at the example on right, here is your original original figure here, A, B, C, D. Okay. The points for A, B, C, and D, if we look at them, so A, starting at the origin, you go left 5, so it's -5, and then up 4, so it's a +4. Remember, you walk before you fly. B, starting at the origin, you go left 1, so it's -1, and then up 4, so it's +4. C, you want to start at the origin and go left 4, so it's -4, and you are not flying at all, so it's 0. And then for D, you're going left 2, so it's -2, and you're not flying up or down, so that's 0. Remember, move to the left or right first, that's your X value, then up or down, that's your Y value. If the number is positive, I'm going to move my points either up if it's a Y value or right if it's an X value. If my number is negative, I'm going to move my value or my points down if it's a Y value or left if it's an X value. So if we are asked to translate 6, -5, my 6 is my X, my -5 is my Y. So this means you're going to move right 6 spaces because it's a positive, and down 5 spaces because it is a -5. You want to move each point and connect them to find the coordinates of the new shape. It's good to highlight this with a different color. So for example, for A, you're going to move it right 6 spaces and then down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is your new A, and we're going to indicate that with an A and then a little apostrophe which represents prime. And that's what you're going to write in here to indicate the new point. We rename it using an apostrophe. You state the point as the letter prime. So for B, I'm going to go 6 spaces right, 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will now be B prime. C, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces down. That's C prime. And same thing for D prime. And then you can connect your figures or your points to make a figure. So it should be the same shape, same size. You have just slid it from the second quadrant down to the fourth. So my new points, or my original points, you have -5, 4, -1, 4, -4, 0, -2, 0. So notice point, it has that apostrophe, so that represents prime. So A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. So my new A prime point is going to be at 1, -1. B prime is going to be at 5, -1. C prime is going to be at 2, -5. I'm sorry. And D is going to be at 4, -5. If you notice, you can also do this academically, because all of your x's, you're going to add 6 to, because you're going 6 spaces right. So for instance, -5 plus 6 is a +1. So for A prime, my x value is going to be at 1. So for B, starts at -1. If I add 6, I get 5. So that is my new B prime location. So it's for your x's. For your y's, you would be subtracting 5 because you're going down 5. So my A point for my y value is 4. Minus 5 is going to give me -1, which is my A prime y value point. B, I start with, again, 4. I subtract 5, I get -1. For C, I start at 0. I subtract 5. My new y value is going to be -5. So you can do this via graph, or you can also do it academically. Let's go ahead and switch to the next page. Let's practice. So if I were to write my original points for this triangle ABC, they would be 5, -4. I'm sorry, -4, 5, because you're going left then up. Here's B, and that's at -6, 1. And then C, right here, is at -2, 1. So now if I translate it, 3 units to the right because it's positive, 4 units down because that's negative. Why don't you pause the video and find your primes. Check your prime values and then make sure you have the correct graph as well. Make sure it is labeled as A prime, B prime, and C prime. Pause the video again and try the example on the right. Check your answers with the following problem. It is okay that your shape is in different quadrants. For example, this one shares quadrant 1 and 2, and this triangle shares 2, 3, and 4. That's okay. That just means you need to be careful with your signs on your coordinate points. Turn the page. Now looking at translations guided practice. So your directions state that you want to enter the new coordinates after performing each translation below. When creating each image, return to the original shape before applying the transformations rules. So let's highlight return to the original shape. Okay, so the original shape, A, B, C, and D, let's go ahead and plot this. So A is at 2, 3. B is at 3, 4. C is at 4, 3. And D is at 3, 1. Let's connect your points. Creates almost like a kite. So now for image 1, I'm going to do this in a different color. So for image 1, you want to go 4 units right. So since you're going right, that is changing your X value. So your Y value is going to stay the same. So I should have 6, 3 for B prime. 4 plus 3 is 7. So 7, 4. C prime. 4 plus 4 is 8, 3. And then for D prime, 3 plus 4 is 7, 1. So I'm going to make a note. You're going 4 units right, and your Y value does not change. Okay, and you know it's your X value that you're changing because you're going right. Remember, right or left changes your X value. So let's go ahead and graph this. A prime is at 6, 3. B prime is at 7, 4. Oops. C prime is at 8, 3. And D prime is at 7, 1. So your shape should have only slid 4 units to the right. Nothing else should have changed. So now to represent image 2, I'm going to pick a different color. And we're going 7 units down. So that means since I'm going down, your X value is not changing, but your Y value is at a rate of -7, and you're going down. So each of these, you're going to leave your X value the same, and you're going to subtract 7 from the Y value. Now because you are shifting the image for a second time, or because you will have multiple images on your graph, you've already used A prime. So now we're going to put 2 apostrophes to represent the fact that this is going to be the second image. And then when you go to image 3, it'll end up having 3 prime signals because that'll be your third translated image on your grid. Go ahead and pause the video and finish these coordinates and plotting your shapes. Check your answers with the following coordinates and image. If you have any questions, ask your teacher.